Bam! My peoples. My peoples. What a night of boxing, y'all. I hope you tuned in yesterday. Historic night of boxing for women. They showed out. Each and every one of them showed out. Especially the ladies on the main card. Um, Ellie Scottney versus Jamileth Mercado. They went to war from the first round, my people. They was trading some nasty leather. It got serious out there. Panty Sniffer, always the first, bro. What's the deal, my G? You know what it is. I appreciate you dropping in. Mr. B in the building. Panty Sniffer, first to hit the like button again. Don't play with me. Man, Panty Sniffer not playing around. I know how you be doing it these days. You're not playing. My peoples, Ellie Scott and Jamileth Mercado went to war from the first round, from the first belt. A fight broke out early, and they started landing bombs. You could see that Ellie, was a little bit sharper. We'll get to that. Savannah Marshall, Shadeja Green, my peoples. Whoa. I was asking everybody, yo, where's the rocket launchers? Because all I'm seeing is missiles flying over that ring. Okay? By the time we got to that fight, my voice was feeling like it was going down, but we made it through. Katie Taylor, y'all seen it. Y'all seen it. She, outboxed Amanda Serrano. This time it was a clear victory. There was no getting around it. No, no. Katie Taylor beat her. Oh, and Ali. By the way, I skipped this one. Alicia Bumgarner, my peoples. That fight, I don't know. I kind of felt like Alicia Bumgarner lost. I'm gonna watch that fight again later today. I'm gonna watch that fight again. Cause I kind of felt like she lost, my peoples. Real talk. But my peoples, good morning. Welcome to another episode, a Saturday edition of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Went to sleep like at 2 a.m. Editing videos, uploading. Y'all need to check out them shorts, my peoples. And we up early anyways. We can sleep later. Sleeping is overrated. We gotta talk boxing, my peoples. What? Like I said, man, what a night of boxing. And I was saying it yesterday. People out there really sit there and say, I don't watch women's boxing because it's boring. And I don't really watch it. What are we talking about here? You think this is 1991? The nobody, Jay Smith. You was late for the breakfast, bro. I was waiting at 6 a.m. and didn't see you come on. I thought you overslept. My guy went to sleep at 2 in the morning, bro. 2 in the morning. Made it happen, though. Got the videos posted, everything. Check out the new shorts, my peoples. Um, Let me give you guys the heads up. Boxing for breakfast, my peoples, is gonna have the first guest join the show today. This morning, in about 45 minutes, the first guest is going to join Boxing for Breakfast. So be ready for that. We're gonna talk boxing, ask some questions and whatnot. Be ready for that, my peoples. But again, yesterday, man, I almost lost my voice. Almost lost my voice because I don't know if you see it, but I'm calling a fight, and it's like they going at it. So I'm going at it too. I'm telling you, my peoples, these fights was crazy. Um, so a quick recap. Let me give you guys the quick recap. Right. So from the main card, the first fight was Ellie Scottney versus Jamileth Mercado. That fight, like I said earlier, a fight broke out in the first round. They was trading some nasty leather, my people. But you could see that Scottney was landing more punches. And she also looked sharper. You could see that, um, you know, I don't want to say she was many levels above, but she was a little bit of a better boxer than Mercado. But I will say, if you watch that fight, you also became a fan of Mercado because she was eating some bombs, my peoples, and still going forward, still landing her own big shots. Like it's almost like every time this girl, hold on, I don't want to mispronounce her name. Every time Scottney landed a big shot on Mercado, Mercado would answer. She would eat a few, bam, 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 but still come back, bam, bam. And it was the ebb and flow, back and forth. But Scotty kept getting the best of her. The and let me tell you something that people don't consider, right? The scorecards, the Scotty won by unanimous decision. It was a wide margin, right? But this is one of those fights where the scorecards don't really reflect how brutal and how competitive it was. If you look at the scorecards, you're like, yo, nah, bro. Damn, based on these cards, Ellie Scotty watched Jamileth Mercado. But if you watch the fight, you know that Mercado was landing her own big bombs throughout the fight, fighting back and you know, I'm telling you, you could see the face of Scott. She was eating some sweet leather. I was like, yo, I'm surprised nobody's gonna walk out of here with a diabetic coma because those punches are sweet. Just business. Good looking. When you want me there, I'm first guest, right? But Clarissa just knocked out that Ann Wolf looking chick. Damn, man, why you gotta say that? Why you gotta say that, bro? Damn, Clarissa just knocked her out. What you mean? My, what do you mean, Clarissa? Just damn! Don't tell me I'm missing something here. Stop playing with me. Oh no. Okay. John Parham, surprised you up and at it. Some good boxing last night. What's the deal, my brother? Yeah, man. I went to sleep at 2 in the morning. Still, even posted a few shorts yesterday. Edited some videos. We up, my brother. This what we do. This what we do, my brother. And by the way, I'm gonna have a guest join the show this morning. I'm gonna talk boxing for a little bit. So I'm excited about that, man. The first guest to join Boxing for Breakfast. John Pound, same time, 2:30 for me. You see it, you up too? We up, my guy. You know what they say about the early bird. You know what they say. Um, so that was the first fight. Ellie Scottney walked out of there with the W by unanimous decision. Like I said, even though the scorecards, it was by a wide margin, but if you watch the fight, it does not reflect what you see on the scorecards. This was very competitive. The rounds were close. A lot of the rounds were close. They just, went in Scottney's favor because, again, she was sharper. She was landing the cleaner punches throughout. But Jennifer Mercado was there to fight, my people. She was laying the hands flat. So this was an absolute barn burner. John Parham, I figure you will lose your voice with fire commentary. Appreciate it, my brother. You know it, man. There was in a moment, there was in a round where I could just take it easy and be like, okay, okay. Nah, they was trading bombs, yo. And I'm gonna tell you something, John. People won't admit to this. People will not admit to this. But Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano was kind of disappointing. Why? Because yes, it was a good fight. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good fight. It was a good fight. But when you take into account the first two, where the punch output from both sides was a lot more, and you take into account the first three fights that we just watched, the main event was not as exciting as the other fights. If the other fights wouldn't have played out the way that they did, we would have said, "Yo, this main event was good." But with those three fights, those ladies going at it, wars back to back to back, and then we get to Taylor versus Serrano, and Serrano is like 10 feet away, going like this. I don't know, man. Armando Rosado, salute from Puerto Rico. Salute, my G. Tell me, Armando Rosado, from Puerto Rico, my G, what do you think about Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor? I was just saying, man, I felt like the fight was a little bit disappointing. And it's hard to say it. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to say it because it's such a big fight. It's a historic moment for women's boxing. It's such a positive thing that you don't want to throw a little negative in there. But if you think about the way the first two fight played out, they went to war. And then in this card right now, the first three fights that we watch on TV, you see it. So their fight was the one that had the least action. And here's what I think, my peoples. This was my perspective tuning in. They spoke a lot. They spoke a lot about the headbutts, about how Katie Taylor goes in and put her head down and it causes headbutts. Yeah, she doesn't do it intentionally, but she does it. And you guys recall in that last fight, Amanda Serrano had a huge gash. Huge. From what? The dome piece. So therefore, what I took from yesterday's fight is that Amanda Serrano was way too cautious trying to avoid that headbutt. I felt like if you guys recall, there was times where Amanda Serrano was super far away, going like this. It's almost like she wanted to keep Katie at a distance when she could not headbutt her. Armando Rosado. I had Katie winning. Amanda went to play basketball with her Jordans on. Rodney, say hi. What's the deal, Rodney? Bam. Nah, but those are not Jordans, my brother. Those was, boxing shoes, obviously. But I don't know what happened, man. Amanda Serrano, I was disappointed with the way that it played out because I thought she was gonna put more pressure. She was gonna apply more pressure. And Katie Taylor was it's like Katie didn't have to work hard to keep her at a distance because she was keeping herself there. She was reluctant to go on the inside. So I don't know. I don't know if that headbutt or those because she received multiple headbutts from Katie Taylor. I don't know if that had an impact in the way that she fought yesterday. But if you look at the first three fights, the way those played out, whoa, come on now, my peoples. Everybody was going to war. By the way, I'm glad that my voice made it. My voice is good, my peoples, because I'm doing these fights tonight. Yeah, I know I'm doing these fights tonight, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the fireworks. Hold on one second. I am ready for the fireworks. For what upcoming fights? Um. So hold on one second, my peoples. I got somebody that's gonna come on the show. Matias versus Puello, Shakur versus Zepeda. Armando Rosado. Whenever you have left-handed and an orthodox, it's very possible to have to clash. Amanda wasn't willing to risk much. I agree with you. I agree with you. That happens, but part of the reason it happened at least in this, in that second fight, is because when they closed the gap, Katie Taylor kept going like this, putting her head down. When she throwing punches, going like this, boom. But yesterday there was actually a head collision, and it was caused by Amanda, and luckily nobody was cut. You saw Amanda was going forward, boom, hit her with the head by mistake. My peoples, what do you think about tonight's fights? Y'all ready to make your predictions? Are you ready to make your predictions? Armando Rosado, she was shadowboxing in the fight. Bro, you know what I was saying yesterday? I don't understand why Amanda Serrano spent so much time and so much energy throwing punches in the air. Like she would be super far away. That's why I'm saying that the headbutts were playing with her mind. It's almost like she didn't want to close that gap. I mean, we had 24 rounds of an Amanda Serrano that was in Katie Taylor's face. 24 rounds of that. And now all of a sudden we're getting a gunshot Amanda Serrano who's trying to keep her distance, who's literally throwing punches from a distance that they're not even meant to land. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe there was an injury that we don't know about, or I don't know. That's just now. That's why I'm saying it's such a historic night of boxing that people don't want. People are not gonna really want to talk about that. It almost sounds like you hating. Like, oh man, look, you hating. They had a great night of boxing. A lot of people tuned in. I want to see how many millions. Somebody yesterday told me 70 million was tuned into Netflix. I don't know what the numbers is, but whoa. Armando Rosado, she was shadowboxing. Oh no, Antonio Puello by ass whooping, Shakur by ass whooping, Morel by KO, Shiraz by UD, or Berlanga by KO. Bro, so is Morel still gonna fight through that pop dirty? I thought they was gonna. I thought Buddy was gonna get banned for a couple of years or something like that. That's what I read somewhere. I don't know what's going on. Armando Rosado. I got Matias by KO, Shakur by decision, and Berlanga by KO. Armando Rosado, you sure you got them by KO because you think that's gonna happen? Or because that's your Puerto Rican poppies? Let me find out. You just picking the Puerto Rican poppies in the building. Um, Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm rocking with Alberto Puello. Part of it is because that's my Dominican guy, so I can't knock you for that. But I will say, I think Alberto Puello just has the skill set to outbox Suriel Matias. But we're gonna see. I said it before. Suriel, he has that power that can change it, everything in the blink of an eye. So if he lands, it could be a, a very bad night for Alberto Puello. Tell you that right now. Um, let's see it, my people. Let's see it. I'm ready to call these fights. Now, here's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you this right now. Look at those fights, right? David Morrell is fighting Kataev, who we know is a very strong opponent, very hard puncher. Then we have Alberto Puello and Suriel Matias. Right after that, we have Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, and the main event, Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Shiraz. That's four fights. Can those four fights live up to the action that we saw yesterday? Yeah, be honest with me, my peoples. Tell me what you think. Can those fights live up to the action that we saw yesterday? Pierre Oliver, Dalier, I don't know. But I hope Zepeda Stevenson don't look like Serrano Taylor 3. It's not gonna look like that. I promise you. It's not gonna look like that. I promise you. For two reasons. It's not gonna look like that. Zepeda already said. Here's the difference between the what you said and this upcoming fight. Serrano, you saw yesterday, was very gun shy and maintaining her distance. So Katie Taylor wasn't never really was trying to finish her. She was trying to outbox her. So all she was doing every time they closed the gap, swarming her, pop, 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 and backing away. That's it. Katie Taylor never really had to worry about, the same things that she did in that first fight with that constant pressure that Serrano was applying. We didn't see it yesterday. So Katie Taylor just had to outbox her. But when you talk about Shakur Stevenson and Williams and Pater, it's different. Is that Pater's not gonna be able to try to outbox Shakur. He's going for the knockout. He already said it. He already said it, my people. He said he'll be gunning for the knockout. So you're gonna see a Williams and Pater that's gonna be aggressive. That's the first part. But here's the second one. And I really want you guys to consider this. Shakur Stevenson, he's planning on showing out. He wants to have a performance where people say, oh shit, damn, I was wrong. Because think about it. He's going to fight Williams Zepeda, and there's people out there predicting that Zepeda is going to win this fight. There's people who's been on Boxing for Breakfast saying, yo, Zepeda's going to win by knockout, who actually believe it. Antonio, he's still fighting. The guy popped dirty, but it was last year on April for an IBO fight. They never let it out, and now they're trying to make some noise and get some free advertisement. Ah, okay, okay. I see. Yeah, that's clout. That's clout chasing. Armando Rosado. I got. Oh yeah, he probably enrolled in VADA and everything. Yeah, we could expect him to be clean now. I didn't think about that. Armando Rosado. I got Berlanga because of Rasta reasons, but Shiraz is better all around. Matias is half Dominican. Yeah, but he half Dominican, but you rooted for the Puerto Rican half. OG, hello. Fix the screen, bro. It's not full. Don't worry, my people. The reason why the screen is not full is because somebody's going to join me. Somebody's going to join me, my peoples. The first, okay, this is why the screen is not full, ladies and gentlemen. The first box center, the first boxing for breakfast guest is going to join me this morning. Let me see some. Whoa, whoa, I don't want no green screen. I don't want no green screen. Okay, the first boxing for breakfast guest is going to join me this morning. So get ready. Who's the guest or don't want to leak? No, I can tell you. I'm not gonna get into details because I'm gonna let the guest speak on the details. But it's a young fighter, a fighter who is early in their career. So you guys will get to meet this fighter, get to know a little bit about the fighter, and that's what I'm gonna tell you. John Parham, Berlanga at 9. Ooh, John Parham got Berlanga sleeping Shiraz. Oh, gee, Crawford and Canelo was in an interview, and Canelo kept cooking him the whole time. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. Canelo, he's an elite level trash talker. He's elite when it comes to that. And in the interview, I'm pretty sure he was formal. But if they talking like on the side and all and trash talking each other, and Canelo stop giving them the shut the fuck up, motherfucker. It's a wrap. I got Canelo winning for now after the interview. Nah, listen. Canelo may be able to win the trash talking. He not winning the fight. He not winning. Telling you that right now. Not winning that fight, my people. So again, for those who mentioned about the screen size to adjust it, no, my peoples, we have the first boxing for breakfast guest joining the show, and we're gonna talk boxing. You guys, I promise you, you guys are gonna find it interesting. You know I don't be capping. You know I don't be giving you no bullshit. Antonio. Felix Trinidad was born in Samaná, Dominican Republic. His mother is Dominican, and his father, who used to be a boxer, got her pregnant while he was fighting in DR and then took them to PR after Tito was born. Yo, Tito. But I'm gonna be honest with you. That's something that I either do not remember, because there's things that slip your memory. You may be refreshing my recollection, but I don't even remember that. But as you know, Tito Trinidad, his whole life, he was born in PR. His whole life was there, so he's never really identified as Dominican. Armando Rosado. But I will say, in my opinion, Tito Trinidad is one of the greatest, or arguably the greatest, welterweight fighter of all time. Armando Rosado. Amanda gave us a hell of a show on her walk to the ring. They should have gave her a round for that. Antonio. It's something everyone knows, but nobody talks about. Something everybody knows and nobody talks about is that the main event didn't live up to the hype. That's the truth. It did not live up to the hype. But to be fair to the ladies, it's better for them, for their overall health, to not go to war the way that they did in those first two fights. JJ's in the house. Good morning, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. Good morning, my brother. We went to sleep late, but we in the building anyways. John Parrow, hit the like button and check out some of his shorts on the page and comment, my peoples. Appreciate it, my brother. Um, Look, take this into consideration, my people. Yesterday we have 4 fights. Today we have 4 fights on the main card. That's what I'm referring to. Do you guys believe that tonight's 4 fights can live up to what we watched yesterday in comparison? What do you guys think? What would you guys say about that? Are we going to get as much action today as we got yesterday? David Morrell versus Kataev, I think that's going to be a real good fight, an explosive fight. I told y'all before, in my opinion, David Morrell will become a world champion. I don't know when, I don't know what weight class, but to me, he has that it factor. He's cut from that cloth. That's how I see it playing out. Now, when it comes to Subriel Matias versus um, Alberto Puello, my peoples, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight, my peoples. We have the classic case of the boxer and the puncher. It's going down. It's going down. That's a showdown that we're gonna enjoy. Pastor JMZ, is Tank fight going to be made official, or are they calling the fight off? I'm gonna tell you what, Pastor J. Even before Tank Davis being arrested, I was already questioning whether or not the fight is going to happen. Why? We don't see no promotion for it. It was supposedly happening next month, but the last we heard about it was with Steven Espinoza saying that they were having a hard time getting a budget for it. So what's really gonna happen? What's really gonna happen? So I already been questioning whether or not they're gonna fight. With a fight, think about this. Watch this. The fight is a month away. We're not seeing any face-offs, any press conferences, any promotional material, nothing. So it doesn't even look like it was going to happen in the first place. I was questioning it already. Now Tank Davis gets arrested for that situation. We don't know the facts. It's being alleged that he put hands on his ex-girlfriend, but he could potentially be fighting for his freedom. So boxing might become secondary to him. Like, if you fighting for your freedom, you ain't thinking about no boxing. And by the way, another thing that I noticed, if you saw Tank Davis's mugshot yesterday, my peoples, he he don't look like he's in training camp. His face looked round. He looked like he was weighing probably like 150 pounds, something like that. He looked big as hell in the face. So That picture does not look like a Tank Davis was in a training camp for a fight. And if the fight is next month, then he's supposed to be in training camp. We're supposed to be a Tank Davis that's ripped right now. I don't know. So I don't know if a fight was ever gonna happen, and this makes it even more, you know, sketchy. Let's see. They haven't canceled it. They haven't said anything. They haven't said no. They haven't said yes. They haven't confirmed the date. Nothing. So Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach, is the rematch going to happen? We don't know, my people. We don't know. Big Goofy, my brother Jay Smith, how are you? I'm good, my brother. Appreciate it. Everybody, if you see that little window, if you see a little black window next to me, I think you may see it. That's because I have a guest that's going to join me on Boxing for Breakfast. So this is going to be the first guest to join the show. There you have it, my peoples. Big Goofy. Guys, is the screen not full for me? Only all y'all. There's a problem, bro. It's not full. Now, let me tell you, the reason why the screen is not full is because a guest is going to join me on the show. That's why, my peoples, keep that in mind. The reason the screen is not full is because a guest is going to join me on the show. So that slot you see, somebody is going to be there talking boxing with your boy Jay Smith. Donald Berry. Good morning, Jay. What is the topic this morning? So we talking about yesterday's card, women's boxing, historic champions, everybody going to war, fireworks. And tonight's card, 4 fights yesterday televised, 4 fights today televised. Will tonight's fights live up to the action of yesterday's 4 fights? John Parham, it's a different camera view for a guest. Maker, Jay Smith, got the hardware behind him. You know it, my peoples. You know it. Antonio, Ernest Morales, yes. Samaná, Dominican Republic. David Shotwell, yo. What up, David? Bam. Underrated Will, I believe so. Now, peoples, there's going to be some great boxing tonight. David Morrell versus Katayev. We already know Katayev is a power puncher, an aggressive fighter. I don't know a lot about him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen some little highlight reels here and there. Haven't seen full fights of his, but based on what I've seen and heard, Katayev can fight and he can give Morrell problems. But I already told you guys, I am a David Morrell believer. I still stand on my toes when I say, on my 10 toes, by the way. Morrell's gonna become a world champion one way or another at some point. He's just too good, elite level. I see it happening for him. So he's gonna have to find a way to get past Katayev. Then we got Alberto Puello and Suriel Matias. Boxer versus the puncher. What a showdown, my peoples. For those of you joining, the reason you see this different camera angle is because a guest is going to join me on Box Center this morning. On Boxing for Breakfast. The first guest. Y'all watching a historical. This is a historical episode of Boxing for Breakfast, my peoples. So stay on with me. Don't miss history. Yesterday, we witnessed history in women's boxing. Today, you get to witness history on Boxing for Breakfast. The first guest to join the show. JJ's in the house. Yes, can't wait. Going to be good. Of course, my guy. You know I never cap. You know how we do it. John Sosa, David Morrell is a great fighter. By the way, my peoples, I told y'all I'm going to have a young fighter early in their career, and there's some questions that I already have with regards to boxing to give you guys some type of insight. And I'm gonna see, maybe we could have the opportunity so that you can ask her some questions or him. I can't tell you if it's a her or a him just yet. You'll find out. Joanne Sosa, David Morrell is a great fighter. David Shotwell, bro, I always love it when you get to rapping, bro. You're very educated, bro. And It's inspiration to see you on here grinding all the time. Yo, David Shotwell, I really appreciate your words. You don't realize is that when you say stuff like that, you also push me. You also motivate me. There's trust me, there's time that people will tell me, will hit me up, random people, strangers. Yo, you're whack, you're boring, you don't know shit about like just really trying to tell me you're not going anywhere, like your show is corny. What are you doing? Like really trying to go hard. So I laugh at that. Cause sometimes I just feel like damn, I'm that good that I have haters already. Like, bro, I'm not even famous. How the hell I got haters? How you got haters and you ain't even famous, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy work. But I appreciate you, my brother. Real talk. Donald Barry, I have a question for you, Jay. What is the problem between Berlanga and De La Hoya? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And the reason why I don't understand it, Shiraz is not a Golden Boy fighter. I understood if Shiraz was a Golden Boy, then okay. But honestly, I don't even understand it. There's no reason for them two to be going. I know why. I know why. Wait a minute. I know why. Berlanga said something about De La Hoya, and De La Hoya dissed him. Because De La Hoya was like, you talking all that Puerto Rico. Fool, you from Brooklyn. You wasn't born in Puerto Rico, and you don't be going to Puerto Rico, and you don't got people in Puerto Rico. Stop fronting. And Berlanga took that personal, but it's true. He he claims Puerto Rico, and he got Puerto Rican blood. He's in Paris, Puerto Rican, but he's from Brooklyn. He was born in Brooklyn, raised in Brooklyn. That's where he's from. Ernest Morales, Al Wiki. Nothing wrong to be from wherever, especially nuestros queridos vecinos. That's facts. That's facts. Maker. Nah, don't ever listen to those haters. That's spiritual warfare. Trying to tear down your favorite boxing show. Facts, Maker. That's facts, my brother. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys something. It's crazy to see that when I started doing this, people didn't have a problem. They didn't have a problem at all. You know, but it seems like as soon as I started to pick up a little bit of a buzz, people started to have a problem. So it's like you don't want to see me go up. You don't want to see me get anywhere. So when you see something happen and it bothers you, and you want to go at your boy Jay Smith, have at it. Maker. When Oscar said your jury's fate like your wins, I was crying. Oh my God. Yo, that's the one thing, bro. You do not want to go word for word with Oscar De La Hoya. Nah, man, he's elite. Oscar De La Hoya is an elite level trash talker. You need to induct him into the Hall of Fame of trash talking if he's not already there. Telling you, Oscar De La Hoya is not the guy you want to be trash talking with because he's gonna cook you, and then he's gonna put you on his what is it, clapback Fridays or clapback Thursdays or whatever it is, clapback that he does. He's gonna put you in that joint and roast you. Don't play with Oscar De La Hoya, man. And I tell you what, man, I have a lot of respect for Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of respect for him. And you know why? Because we live in a negative world where people always try to find something negative about a person and stick to it. And they'll jab it and jab it and jab it. Like, look at the thing with De La Hoya with the fishnets and the wig and dressing like like a woman and all that. Like, yo, that was over 10 years ago, my people. And they still bringing that up on them. They still bringing that up. Like, is that what you remember about Oscar De La Hoya? You know what I remember about Oscar? Number one, Olympic gold medalist. That's when I first found out about him. Oh shit! You know why, my peoples? Oscar De La Hoya is the golden boy. Because I know a lot of people don't know this. You could cap and say I already knew that, but I'm gonna tell you why Oscar De La Hoya is the golden boy and why his company is Golden Boy Promotion. Oscar De La Hoya, as you know, is an Olympic gold medalist. He went to the Barcelona Games in '92. Guess what? De La Hoya was the only fighter or the only boxer, I say boxers when it's amateurs, the only boxer on the American team to bring home a gold medal. That's where the name Golden Boy was born. So from right there alone, you got to put some respect. That's an Olympic gold medalist and the only one to bring gold to the U.S. That in those summer games. So, and by the way, Oscar De La Hoya also broke a record for a fighter making his debut. Yo, for his pro debut, I think Oscar De La Hoya made like 45, $50,000. That's how much of a star he was. He was sought after. All the promoters wanted him. He ended up going to top rank with Bob Arum. And his first fight, $45,000. Then he was a little pretty boy, so he had the women going to watch boxing to the stadiums. Saw him winning titles in multiple divisions. Come on now. Come on, my people. Oscar De La Hoya was a great fighter. Just think about this. I want you to consider this. By the time Oscar De La Hoya got to fought Floyd Mayweather, he was already a full blown cross dressing cokehead. And he took Floyd Mayweather to a split decision. You imagine that? A full blown cokehead. Dressing like a woman, partying, getting twisted, and took the greatest of all time to a split decision. That tells you all you need to know about Oscar De La Hoya. That right there tells you what you need to know. Domingo Bonilla, dímelo. So they robbed the shit out of a Brazilian chick last night. Good thing I made money on Shadeja Green, even though I thought Savannah won. But Shadeja got me my money and more. Look, I thought Savannah Marshall won the fight by split decision. I thought it was very close, but I thought that she edged it out. But when I say I thought she won by split decision, obviously I saw a very close fight, swing rounds. I could have gone either way. I'm okay with Shadeja Green winning the fight. By the way, she did land the bigger punches throughout the fight, but I felt like Savannah Marshall outworked her, and I should have walked out of there with the W. Like I said, I respect the decision because Shadeja Green showed out as well. Antonio, in stormy days, Berlanga has to keep himself indoors with those chains. Want to get struck by lightning. Maker, what's your recap on Bumgarner's performance? I'm gonna tell you what, Maker. Honestly, I felt like Jennifer. What's the last name, man? Jennifer. I can't remember Elisa Bumgarner's opponent's last name. I know her first name is Jennifer. I felt like Bumgarner lost that fight. There you have it, bro. I honestly felt like Bumgarner lost. I was shocked. Especially when I saw on a card that she won like by a wide margin. Like you see it, there's a scorecard that reflected that she washed her. I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know what happened, man. I don't know how they were scoring that fight. That was weird to me. But Domingo Bonilla, Alicia was very hesitant. She overanalyzed too much. She looked a bit scared. I don't think she ever fought under those fights and her long layoff too. Listen, this is what I saw in this situation. Jennifer, man, let me look for it because I don't want to disrespect. I like to call fighters by their names, man. I don't want to say that chick or just Jennifer. She got a name. So what I felt that affected Alicia Bumgarner's performance is the way that Jennifer Miranda was operating. She was using her height and her reach advantage. She was putting hands on Alicia Bumgarner at all times, kept that jab out there, was putting hands on. I'm telling you, I don't know how Baumgartner walked out of there with the W. And I was saying yesterday, I'm gonna watch the fight again today. I'm gonna watch that fight again and see how I feel about it. Because honestly, yesterday watching it live, it felt like Jennifer Miranda won. JJ's in the house. Yes, it started Berlanga's boxing abilities and questioned his Puerto Puerto Rico heritage. I mean, they've been going back and forth because you know that Berlanga been going at it with the fishnets too, and you know that's the thing about Oscar De La Hoya, that everybody that goes at him, that's their go-to. It's like they're holding on to the fishnet. Anything you say to me, I'm pulling out the fishnet. Hold that. Ernest Morales, Oscar is being Oscar. He acted rather jealous, like a jealous schoolgirl. He was fired by Canelo and Nutty Edgar. I mean, I don't think he was fired. You know, they finished their contract and didn't re-sign. You could look at it both ways. Domingo Bonilla, supposedly Berlanga diamonds are moissanite. I mean, I would have been. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. Let's be real. Let's be real. Up until right now, if you go, and I don't know, I haven't seen it, but if you look at Edgar Berlanga purse, the money that he's making per fight, he ain't making millions of dollars. Edgar Berlanga don't make millions of dollars. Maybe for this fight. I mean, no, wait a minute. Let me correct myself because I don't like to say something too fast and be wrong and not correct myself. I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure he made millions of dollars versus Canelo. So I'm wrong about that. But if you look at his fights before that, he not making millions of dollars, right? And he was already wearing shit, walking around like a rap star. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he wearing a bunch of fake shit. Maker, nah. But when Berlanga throws dollar bills telling him to strip, that's super pause. I don't know. Berlanga, man, he got a weird sense of humor, man. He has a weird personality. Cause how about when he's doing all this? When he oh shit, yo. I didn't realize that. I forgot I was wearing shorts. I was gonna how about when he does all this shit to fighters? Like, what is you doing, bro? What is you doing? Berlanga be doing some funny stuff. I don't know. I don't knock on whatever he's into. I don't knock him. I respect the community, my peoples. I respect the community. That's what I'm gonna say. Maker, not gonna lie, I want to switch my pick to Shiraz because Berlanga seems too emotional. But I'll stick with my pick. Okay? I already told you, my peoples, just in case those who wasn't there, I'm rocking with Shiraz. Berlanga, I haven't been a believer in him. Shiraz got to show me. I mean, Berlanga got to show me. Prove to me that you that guy that you say you are. Domingo Bonilla. Yo, so Puello versus Subrio, what you think? Who wins that one? I got Alberto Puello winning that fight. I already told you, yes, I'm a bit biased towards him because he's my Dominican brother. But I will say, in the boxer puncher showdown that this is, I feel like Alberto Puello is gonna be able to use his height, his reach, footwork, angles to offset some of the things Subriel does. Alberto Puello by unanimous decision. And of course, like I've been telling you, man, like I've been telling you, I do understand that Subriel is the type of fighter who one punch he could change the outcome of the fight. One punch. And it's not necessarily a punch that's gonna sleep you. Well, although he can't sleep you, it's just that he can land a punch that can mess up your whole equilibrium and you're not the same fighter. Before you know it, you're absorbing punishment and the referee has to pull the plug on the fight. So I know that Alberto Puello is gonna be ready for the offensive power that Sobriel Matia brings to the table. I know that he's gonna have a good game plan. We saw. Look, I keep telling people, man, if you're sleeping on Alberto Puello, go watch at least not the whole fight. At least go watch the highlights of Alberto Puello versus Gary Antoine Russell. Just the highlight, so you can see, bro, bro. Alberto Puello can box, my people. Don't sleep on him. Adam Hamza 60-40. Shakur 55-45. Damn, Shakur 55-45. So I'm gonna give you my numbers then. My odds. Hamza 65-55. Shakur 90-10. Domino Bonilla. Yeah, I was thinking of it. I bet on Matias. I can only put him down to win by KO or TKO. Look, I feel like Subriel Matias, for him to win, it has to be by stoppage. That has to. I don't see him outboxing Alberto Puello. I will say one way, one avenue for him to win on the scorecards would be, you hurt him real bad and he's not really able to be himself again. He's not able to gain his composure. That happens sometimes. If you think about Anthony Joshua when he got clipped by Andy Ruiz in that first round, that's it. He couldn't be himself. Once he caught that big shot to the head, it messed up his whole equilibrium and he was never the same. That's it. He just started taking punishment after that and it was a wrap. So Subriel Matias has the ability to land that type of punch, and Alberto Puello has the defensive skills to stay away from it. Let's see how anything can happen in boxing. I'm rocking with Alberto Puello to win. There you have it. Domingo Bonilla, yeah, but what about when Puello fought Martin? I thought Martin won that one. That was a close fight. Um, one of those that could have gone either way. I felt it could have gone either way. It went in Puello's favor. But I felt like that was close. That was a real good fight, competitive fight. Ernest Morales, the tallest limited, the talent limited Berlanga has done a fantastic job of promoting himself. Oscar couldn't didn't deliver. Look, Berlanga has definitely done a great job of promoting himself. Right now, think about this. Berlanga, in a way, I could compare him to Ryan Garcia. You know why I say I could compare him to Ryan Garcia? Think about it. The reason why a lot of people hate Ryan is because he's such a big star without accomplishing anything. You know how many times people have told me that? He a big star. What he done in the ring? What he done? People hate the fact that he's, hasn't beaten a champion, hasn't, accomplished a lot as far as him himself becoming a title holder. Yeah, he's a big star in boxing, one of the biggest out there. People don't like that. So Berlanga is like that kind of same vibe right now. Like he's a big star, but what has he done? Step up to the plate to the big stage one time and got thoroughly dominated by Canelo. Wasn't even competitive. And if you think about it, there was no point in time in Berlanga versus Canelo where you felt like, okay, Berlanga's looking like he's about to win. Hold on, my peoples. Hold on, my peoples. So all I'm saying is that Edgar Berlanga, he moves around like a celebrity more than a boxer. Check this out, my peoples. Got a special guest joining Boxing for Breakfast. Let's get it.
Hey, how are you?
How are you doing, young lady? Salute.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So, first of all, I want to say welcome to Boxing for Breakfast. You are the first fighter to join the show, and I appreciate you. I want to say thank you. I appreciate your time. Um, we have some folks here on the show right now. I want to start off by asking you if you can introduce yourself and tell the guys what it is that you do. that we're here for.
I have 12 professional fights, 0 losses, 5 knockouts, and I'm holding right now the WBC international title in the super bantamweight division. So yeah, I'm a boxer, and I guess that's why I'm here.
Mispronounce your last name. Can you tell me what's your full name?
My full name is Melina, and my nickname is Maibaum.
Hey, Melina. I'm super happy to have you on. You just told us right now that you are 12-0 as a professional fighter early in your career. Can you tell me a little bit about your amateur background? Did you get to fight as an amateur? Did you spend a lot of time, or did you turn pro quickly?
Not quickly, but I also don't have a lot of amateur experience. I start kickboxing when I was 5 years old. So I did kickboxing 14 years, and then I started boxing 2019, and then I had some. I think it was only, yeah, it was four like show fights, gala fights. So no amateur boxing, and then 2022 I did 7 of my, was it 2022, I did my professional debut. So yeah.
Something interesting that you've just said, which I want to reiterate for the guys that are on the chat right now. You said that even though you didn't have amateur experience, but you practiced kickboxing. Was it for 14 years?
A long long time. And before I did ballet, yeah. That's crazy.
Something because that's interesting. Yesterday, I was telling everybody on the chat that people who have practiced sports and previously, whether it's any sport that they're athletic, when they turn to boxing, they have an opportunity to have a good career because they already carry that athleticism over into boxing. So as a kickboxer, how do you feel that that helped you make that transition into the sweet science?
The fighting heart, right? The fighting spirit, because I do it since I'm 5 years old, and I did a lot of tournaments in kickboxing. So I think first of all the mentality, then second in training. Some other people told me, I didn't even get it. A training partner from me, she told me you get stuff quicker than me. So I think I'm used to it that when the trainer tell me something, I get it quicker. You said like this, you know what I mean? So I think that's a huge difference also. And also when it comes to fighting, at my first fight, at my debut, I was nervous, yeah. But then the other fights, I wasn't. I was calm, and I think that comes from the experience that I did a lot of tournaments in kickboxing. You get this nervosity a little bit away. Like you need to have it, right? But it's not that huge. Yeah, make the sense. I think I would say I put myself like I how I say it right, like the most pressure somebody can put on me, it's myself. I think that's the only thing. The other people, I'm not like, you have always people who talk, who this, so that's not, it's not really pressure, but for myself, because I want to be the best, right? and I'm always do better, do better, do better. So I put myself also a lot of pressure on myself. So yeah, and I think I cannot really say something because I'm just started, right? For me, I just started. So yeah, we will see how it's going. I didn't reach the top level. I'm just started now and making my step up. So yeah, I think it's different on the top also.
The more you fight, the tougher opponents, the more pressure there's going to be to perform. I have to ask, what weight class do you fight in?
I can fight bantam and super bantam. It's right now like where the best options are, but I have the title in super bantam, so yeah, bantam super bantam. I'm not that tall. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay. And how about for the future? Do you have upcoming fights that are scheduled? Do you have upcoming fights right now that are scheduled, signed already?
I was planning. We in talks, and it's like our end of August, start of September. So yeah, we will see. Nothing like 100% fixed. No.
Okay. At this time, does does Melina Maybaum have a promoter? Okay, okay. I'm asking you because hey, you never know who's gonna watch this, who's gonna see you. You never know. So there you have it, my peoples. Melina Maybaum is undefeated, coming up in the game. Be on the lookout, Melina. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Can I ask you to make a few predictions? Do you have a couple more minutes with me?
And thank you. I really appreciate it for yeah, for
There's going to be some boxing tonight, some good boxing, some good action. But before I get to it, yesterday, women's boxing made history. That I felt like I was witnessing history. I tried to tell everybody the magnitude, all these championship fights. But not only that, even the women who lost showed out. Like everybody fought amazing yesterday. What are your thoughts on yesterday's all women card?
that's was a huge step for female fighters. Also, they get paid well, right? And a lot of like in Madison Square Garden, a lot of great female fighters out there and fighting for all the belts, unification. Amazing, really, really great to watch. Really great that MVP do this for female fighters. And yeah, yesterday the world saw that female can fight. I guess so. Yeah, they can fight. And I also guess females, when they step in the ring and they choose boxing, they choose it 100%. They don't joke around. They don't make it for like, yeah, for fun. They want it. And I think you saw it yesterday that they want it and they want to prove, yeah, what they can.
I was trying to tell everybody on the chat, everybody that I know in person, that women's boxing is at this point. I'm gonna have to say that women's boxing is at a level where it you can no longer say, "Oh, I don't really watch women's boxing. It's boring." Like no, like you're out of tune with reality if you say that. If you're watching what's really going on with women's boxing. Like I'm super excited. I want to say shout out, salute to Jake Paul who put it together. It was a great night of boxing. It was historic. Um, I want to get some predictions from you, Melina.
Females, I think it's also nice. Also, really credit to the females that they all hold together. It's nice to see that the females hold together, step up, and make this big fights. It's like it's nice to see. We should hold together, right? We should step up. We should, yeah, speak up. Yes. So it was really nice to watch. Yeah.
Yes, we got to witness history. And moving to today, tonight we're having some serious action. Four fights. I'm gonna ask you to make predictions for three of them, right? So the first one we have Shakur Stevenson. No, no, we have Subriel Matias versus Alberto Puello, the classic showdown of the boxer and the puncher. Who do you have winning this fight? Wait. Wait a minute, because I have to get my receipt for your prediction. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Melina. Miss Melina.
Goes over the rounds, and it goes after points. So yeah, I don't have like a this one. I don't know. I don't have a prediction for this one. I think it goes over the round and over the points. Yeah, for this.
Most competitive fight, or is somebody just gonna watch their opponent?
I think this will be 60-40 fight. That's my feeling. But maybe I'm wrong, but that's my feeling for this fight. It's like, yeah, points.
You have for Shakur Stevenson versus William Zapata.
Shakur is winning this fight. So that's, yeah.
This is all by stoppage.
Mm, Shakur is a counter puncher, and maybe in the 8th round a stoppage, but yeah, it's also half half. I know Shakur is winning. How? I'm like, yeah, they're both not bad fighters. So
Tell you right now, Shakur Stevenson is dealing with the pressure of people saying that he's boring, that he runs a lot, that he's not as good as they say he is. He's gonna show out tonight. He's going to put the Swiss, the Drake, and the Apple beats on William Zapata.
um, how you said it? I don't want to say it wrong, but to shut the mouth down with showing the action. Is it right, or did I say it wrong? Yes, prove them wrong and showing the action. Is it right? It's like you know what I want to say. Yes, right. Thank you, thank you. This is what I
Welcome,
wanted
you're
to
welcome.
say.
And by you speak very good English. We understand everything that you're saying.
A compliment because before boxing I didn't speak at all English. So with boxing, with the professional fighters I train with, they push me to speak English, and since then I was really bad in school. I was really bad in school in English, but that's really a compliment. Thank you for this.
Miscommunication here. You're doing a great job. Last prediction. Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga, the main event. They're gonna trade some nasty leather. Who do you have?
Matchup. Um, but also when Belanga is coming forward, he will I think he will fight forward to go for the knockout, right? And Sheras, did I say it right? Yeah. Uh, he have to fight smart and have to have a really good game plan too, right? So yeah, 50-50 matchup, and yeah, that's my prediction.
I got your receipt right here, so you cannot take it back. Cannot take it back. Um,
It was my first live prediction actually. It was the first, so hopefully I'm right.
Tomorrow you're gonna be hearing from me to say that you was right, or you're gonna be hearing from me to say that you was wrong.
Yeah.
Look. Since we have some boxing fans that are on tuning in right now, and some who'll be tuning in later, I want you to say something to us from the perspective of a fighter. You may not be aware of this, but I actually fought as an amateur and as a professional. I only had one fight. I actually fought when I was 44 years old, and I lost. Kind of, it was a one shot deal. I really wanted to step in the ring as a professional because I never did it growing up. But I got experience in the ring. But you, in the other hand, you're an undefeated fighter, and it seems like you're coming up in the perfect time for women's boxing. I don't know if you sense it, because if you had the same talent that you have today, if you had that talent 20 years ago, I'm sorry, there's no fights for you, there's no promotion, you're not on TV. But you being undefeated in 2025, a lot of doors can open for you in a heartbeat. Jake Paul, anybody can see you make a call and everything changes just like that. So, I feel like you're coming up in a great time for women's boxing. Do you sense that? Because back in the day, women was like, "Oh my God, I'm boxing, but what am I really doing here?" Do you feel like you're in a good place where women boxing is with what we saw yesterday?
It was huge yesterday. They make history, and yeah, it's great time for women's boxing. It's great time to. I'm happy that I'm here this time and not 20 years back. So yeah, they're doing really great. So I'm looking forward how it's going in the future. Yeah.
As a fighter, as someone who has experience, as someone who steps in the ring, and you're on social media, you get to see how fans of boxing will watch boxing on TV and they'll debate with you or with boxer or with anybody as if they're experts, right? I'm pretty sure you ran into people debating on social media about boxing. What do you think is the difference in perspective when it comes to how you see boxing from your eyes as someone who's been in the ring versus someone who's only watched boxing on TV and never participated? What do you think is the difference in how you view it versus how they see it?
That's a really good question. Um, you mean okay? You mean the question like in the boxing ring, or in general the whole boxing business and the whole like boxing is my life. The whole
Because those are two questions that in reality is a two-part question, and I wanted to ask both. But the first part of it is in boxing what goes down in the ring. So I'll give you an example, right? Since I've boxed before, right? I know sometimes we could be watching a fight and a fighter maybe caught their opponent with a big straight right hand, boom, and the fans saw the right hand and they know that it happened, but they didn't see the quick feint and when the other fighter reacted to the feint and boom. So there's little things that happen in the ring that we know, but you can't really notice it if you've never been in the ring. So that's an example, something that as a fighter I noticed that doesn't really show if you're not looking for it. So what do you think that you may see in a ring in a fight that as a fighter that the average person doesn't notice is going on?
I always say, because people always ask how you can step in the ring, how you can do this. I think, and I always say it's hard to explain. You have to feel it on your own. I just feel it inside, right? And I always say you cannot describe it. You cannot, when you not step at your own in the ring and feel it, you can never have this feeling. You will never understand. Just in general for everything, and I think it's like when I step in the ring and also my family or fans after the fight they say something, but they just see it from the outside, but in the ring it's different. So it's like I think to really feel and say something, you have to be at your own in the ring. It's like, but I think it's also everything in life, right? When we would have a conversation and somebody outside listen to what you say, what me say, okay, they can give advice, but 100% they wasn't in the conversation, so they cannot say anything about it. Isn't it like this? So in everything,
Well, too, imagine you go on a plane. You can watch the pilot flying it. That doesn't mean that you know how to fly a plane. you,
yeah,
you can
yes.
watch pilots flying planes in the movies. You can't fly one.
When I would watch football or something, and I would like, yeah, you think I cannot say anything because I'm not standing there and playing. I'm not. I don't know. So of course I can say something, but not like it's not the same. It's not the same. It's also the boxing business. Okay, I can tell you, but you have to be in it. You have to be completely in it to understand it. So it's also hard. It's really hard for my family. It's hard for my fans, for friends to understand this boxing business, this game, to be in the ring, to get hit, to everything. Like let's say, okay, you get a knockdown and you go up again. You cannot explain it what's going on in you. You have to be there at your own. That's my opinion. Yeah.
100%. I think when you watch something on TV all the time, you start getting this sense that you have a certain knowledge that you actually don't have. Because when you've been in the ring, here's the thing: when you've never done it, it looks easy. So these, fans will watch two fighters, elite level fighters, and the one that loses, they'll say, "Nah, he's a bum. He's a bum. He can't fight." But we're watching an elite level fighter fighting at the highest level, so we know that he can fight. Like, to give you an example, look at Madrimov. Did you have the opportunity to see Terence Crawford versus Madrimov at 154? Okay. So in that fight, Terence Crawford did not win by knockout. The fight went the distance. And people were saying, look, Terence Crawford didn't knock him out because he's not all that. But the guy's actually really good. If you watch him, you can tell that he's really good. But if you're somebody who's never participated in the sport, you're probably like, oh, yeah, he's not all that. He's not that good. We have the eyes to know somebody that's really good.
You don't see it from the outside. The two who's in the ring, they feel it. Okay, you hit them hard. You think you hit them hard, but he's still standing, and you're like, okay. So, and I think that's thing you cannot see that as an outside person. And for us who was in the ring and who know it, we see it different. So, yeah. But I wouldn't blame them, right? It's
If you think that you know something, how does somebody convince you? You know, I'm gonna say one phrase that I say in boxing for breakfast all the time. I say to people, there's a reason why Floyd Mayweather's uncle said most people don't know shit about boxing. Because he said that because people watch it on TV and they get this sense that they're experts. Just because you've seen it on TV and on social media, that's not the reality.
some people around, and I'm like, okay, when you know it, then come, let's do sparring, let's get in the ring. But then like, no, no, no. I'm like, why? You're an expert, so let's go. I don't mind. But yeah, you have it all in life, always the people around. So
as a fighter, as an athlete, you're in great shape. You train. You know how to fight, and you have a guy, a couch potato, sitting in his house like this. You need to jab more. You need to use your combinations more. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Shut the hell up.
This is what I mean. I put myself. I had a lot, but I was like, yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. I watch the fight. I'm like, I see this. I know on what I have to work, and I'm not. I just started. I'm not finished, so it would be boring when I would already be finished and could do everything right. So yeah, yeah.
Mrs. Melina Mybaum, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity. You are officially the first guest on Boxing for Breakfast. Is there anyone who you would like to give a shout out to, say anything to before we end this show?
For the invitation to be here, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for this.
When you have your next fight scheduled, hit me up. We got to link up. We got to talk about it. I want to get your prediction on your own fight, what you're going to do.
I will tell you for sure. Yeah, and then I want your prediction on my fight too.
No, I already know you're gonna put all type of hands on your opponent to stay undefeated. You're gonna do what you normally do.
To win.
To have you, I know that the boxing fans enjoy watching you, and we look forward to seeing what you're gonna accomplish in women's boxing, man.
Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Boxing for breakfast, Mrs. Melina Mybaum. We out of here.